Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With fishingbooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. Fishingbooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to fishingbooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today. Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With fishingbooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. Fishingbooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to fishingbooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Bowhunter Chronicles podcast, brought to you by Huntworth. Huntworth gear for all types of weather, all types of terrain, all types of budgets. It's clothing that just works. Check them out at huntworthgear.com. And right now they have their Father's Day sale going on. You can use code DAD20 for 20% off. That ends June 21st at midnight. And just going through the website, two of my favorite items are on the clearance section. As a matter of fact, the Harrison hoodie is like $36, and the Elkins vest is $68. That vest with the grayling hoodie is pretty much what I wear on every hunt from like the middle of October on. Those are like, that's my go-to setup. And then that Harrison hoodie is like a performance hoodie. It's like one of the like full polyester, like nice moisture wicking hoodies. It doesn't stink. Just a couple of my favorite pieces of clothing from Huntworth, and surprised to see them over there in the clearance. I always go and check the clearance stuff there. So, like I said, they got their 20% off sale, DAD20, until June 21st. Free shipping over 200% or $200 rather. And yeah, go check them out, huntworthgear.com. And Latitude, their Father's Day sale is going on right now as well. But I think that's going to be done today. I think it's the last day. But we got to spend some time with them up at TAC, and the more I get to see like the Praxis pack actually in use with stuff on it, it's going to launch here really soon. They were shooting some content for it up at the Total Archery Challenge, and that pack is going to be something to check out. Again, just to explain it, that is essentially the Ranger 22 with the pockets redefined, and a frame pack attached to the back of it. That's going to be one thing that you're definitely going to want to check out, whether it's at one of the Mobile Hunter Expos or at any of the events that they've got coming up. You're going to want to get your hands on one of those and check that out. That to me, I think is going to be the thing to check out for this fall. Is the Praxis pack. That, you know, on this podcast, Nate asked me if there was any gear that I saw, and I guess I just completely flaked on that one. But latitudeoutdoors.com, and be watching for that. Sign up for their mailing list and get notified that when that one's in stock. But like I said, that one's coming here real soon. But again, got to play with that quite a bit. Messed around with the climbing sticks as well. The way they stack's not my cup of tea, but super light, lots more foot room for the guys that are concerned about that. You know, they're you know, essentially a lighter beast stick. So very, very well-built, light, People are going to love them, but they stack a little bit differently than the carbon SS sticks. So just depends on what you're into, but we got to mess around with those again, and super cool. So again, latitudeoutdoors.com. Check those guys out. And Yellowstone.ai, working with those guys this year. Pretty excited about that. You can use code Chronicles to get 15% off any of their hard goods. Incredible warranty, lifetime warranty, actual customer service, and data plans that share with one another. Definitely worth it. And doing the math on some of their plans, I want to pull that up here real quick. Their Elite Club, if you run more than 3 cameras and you're going to use their starter or pro plan, that is going to be worth it if you're running them all year round. So if you're running more than 3 cameras, check out the Yellowstone Elite Club. You get additional theft protection, advanced replacements, discounted gear, camera accessory giveaways, and then you get savings on the plans. So that's something to just think about. And there is some big stuff coming from Yellowstone AI really soon here. Can't really talk about it just yet, but they're pretty excited. Going to be coming in the next month or so, but check them out at Yellowstone.ai. This podcast, going back over Total Archery Challenge, always a great time. Thanks everybody for coming out, shooting with us, coming out, saying hi, coming up to us, all of that stuff. Always such a good time. And if you made it out and you got some of the Woodchuck Tacos, thanks for giving them a try. Thanks Skeeter, Experience Wild, Roam Shoot Podcast for cooking those up for us. But yeah, Nate wasn't there. He wanted to know kind of all the rundown, so we just kind of went back through that with him. And for those of you that couldn't make it, here's kind of how everything played out. As always, thanks for listening. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Bowhunter Chronicles podcast. Adam and Nate here. I think Nate's going to be driving the bus a little bit today. We're going to recap TAC. Nate wasn't there, and he's only heard like bits and pieces of it. So rather than me just going through and recapping, I will let him ask the questions. Jake was going to be here. He's got some other stuff going on. And then, when we do stuff like this, it would be, you're probably thinking like, why don't you guys do something like this at TAC or like try to do stuff there? And it is, I can't say it enough or like to try to like articulate it, but it is truly like deer camp in June, and keeping it that way is, I feel like the important part. And in fact, Thursday night, we went to try to record a podcast with Aaron Blicey. Aaron said, hey, will you, Jake, and Greg come over and record a podcast later tonight? I said, yeah, sure. We went over there, and we had an amazing discussion, like, that would have been a great podcast, that no cameras were out, nothing was recorded, and it's just the way that it goes sometimes. And I don't want to say like it's refreshing, because I feel like in the back of your mind you're always like, man, that would have been cool, but it's just great to be able to hang out and have that deer camp vibe, have that time with your friends, rather than having to be as we always, if you ever run into Greg Litzinger, he's got a couple of sweatshirts and stuff, and they say chasing moments. And I think that's, really what he's trying to do, the same thing, like try to get those moments, those memories, all that stuff. And it's very endearing, except for the fact that, like, the first couple times I saw it, like, it was covered up and I only seen OMENT. And so I was like, oh, you're chasing comments, Greg, chasing comments. So that's, just remind him to say, hey, you chasing comments.
I will have to tell him that.
And you still haven't ever met him. Like,
I know. I was looking forward to seeing him this year, but we'll have to meet next year.
Finally got out of prison.
Yep, finally got him out of prison. That was pretty awesome. That story was hilarious. Showing him up, picking him up in style from the airport. Welcome to Michigan. It was great.
Well, I feel bad because that was Jake's idea. He's like, we need to make a sign that says "Welcome home from prison." And I think I was like, "Well, you need to say welcome home from prison, Dad." Or maybe he said welcome, Dad, welcome home, Dad, and I was like, welcome home from prison, Dad, vice versa. And then Jake's like, well, I'll pay Stella to make the sign so it looks like a kid did it. And so it definitely looked like a kid did it. And so I got that little clip of him walking up, and he was oblivious
to it.
So, like, I mean, we were standing there for 5 minutes, like, watching him, like, he was like just keyed in on his getting his bag and whatever. And then he saw the sign and we flipped it over and he was like, oh, thanks. But what I mean by, like, feeling bad is, like, when I go to Harrisburg, like, he always picks me up and drops me off at the airport if he's there. So, like, otherwise I got to take an Uber. But I say for the most part, like, Greg's, like, my guy to pick me up, like, back and forth. So I'm like, fuck, like, I just screwed that up.
He's gonna get you now for sure. You got something coming, that's for sure. No, I think seeing that comment, him, like, being oblivious to like, who's, like, you could tell he's, like, not anticipating anyone for a sign for him, and then when he saw it was priceless. Really good. But to kind of go off of the deer camp vibe, or the trying to record stuff, we were doing that, like, not to, like, to say everyone's this way, but, like, a lot of guys will have a completely different conversation to you just around a fire doing that. You throw a mic in front of them and try to make, like, a little more structured. It just doesn't feel the same. And, like, for us, it's, you do a lot of episodes. I have some of my favorite conversations I've had have been on a podcast, but I've had really good ones that are not part of a podcast too. So you kind of just roll with it, let it happen. And every Patreon hunt we talk about, let's do something at the camp or do that. And it's like, man, you're so busy talking to this person, doing that person, like, trying to figure out where you're hunt. Like, yeah, like, not a chance. Like, it's just too much going on, too much fun. And I think that's what makes it, when you're in a moment like that where there's not enough time to do a podcast, it's because you're having a good time with people that you care about and like-minded individuals. If it was boring and no one was really talking, you could be like, then maybe you'd have a little bit more time for a podcast, but there isn't time around that group. The group of people that have been at TAC, at least when I went last year, there was no downtime for a podcast. Like, it just go nonstop. Yeah,
and it would just, like, kill the vibe, like, to be, like, oh, only these 4 people or whatever you have mics for, and be like, the rest of you, like, either got to be quiet or go somewhere else. Like, nah, that's not.
We don't got time for that.
No.
But yeah, I would love to drive this episode just a little bit here to talk about TAC, because I'm kind of bumming a little bit. I couldn't make it. Had FOMO pretty big. Not like the worst FOMO I've had, but I was also like, I knew what was going on because I got a taste of it last year. And I was like, oh, man, like, I was, like, hoping I could at least maybe make it for the Whistle Pig meal that happened Saturday night, but it just didn't quite line up right. But, yeah, I want to know, like, a few things. Like, first of all, like, overall, did you guys get, like, rained on weather because it was, like, muddy, or was the course pretty semi-decent? Because I know there's some comments about that. I didn't know if you were launching arrows in the rain or what you guys ended up doing overall for the weekend.
No, we didn't get, I mean, it was about perfect. Like, we got rain, like, overnight, and then even when we shot early, there was, like, just, like, a hint of rain. Like, the one morning, I don't remember, I think that was, like, Saturday morning, and then it, like, immediately got hot, and it was fine. But other than that, like, even Friday it was like it got hot, and we were actually, like, kind of out in the open, and we talked to some other guys who shot like some of the like swampier courses like after the rain, and it heated up, and they said it was like being in like a sauna or whatever, like as it was like all steaming up in there. So it was nice for us to be like out in the wind a little bit, and in the, because if it and we even mentioned it, like if we didn't have that breeze, like it would have been miserable. So we didn't really have any issues with rain or anything, except for a little bit, like I said, just from the time we got up to getting down and getting on the lift. But and that, I think that was Saturday, and it was really odd because we went down and shooting at like 9 on Saturday is like, I feel like, you know, Saturday always sells out. Saturday's always the busiest time. We were shooting like one of the busiest courses on Saturday, and Saturday was like 9 o'clock is like the busy time. Like I feel like that's like the quote unquote like prime time that you would want to get. And when we went down there, we were in the village, like walking around, you know, talking to people, whatever. And then when we went to get on the lift, there was not even a line. There was nobody there. There was nothing. And I talked to one of the vendors in one of the booths, and I was like, I think it's maybe just because of the rain. Like maybe that held some people off, and they were waiting to come until later in the day or something, like, because it was just a little bit odd. But for us, like personally, the rain didn't affect like basically any of us.
So talking about that wind, the first thing that popped in my head, I don't know if it was Brad who posted the one reel of you guys shooting 100 yards and 30-mile-an-hour crosswind on top of that hill. Was that really that windy, and how did that go?
Yeah. So I didn't actually shoot that. That was the second course on Saturday, and I went back just to make sure that everything was going well for like the food and everything was getting all set up, and. But yes, I'll say yes, because when I came back, Greg was like, I've never like seen wind like that. And he's like, and I think John also, I'm trying to think. Maybe John didn't shoot that one either. I can't recall. I think John went home. But Greg came back, and he's like, you know, that normal shot where we always shoot down, and it's always the elk, and we always rain down arrows like we're freaking Sparta. He was like, you had to hold like opposite of the animal, and he was like, you put your bow up there, and it was like, whoosh, like it was pretty wild.
Yeah.
So it was all of that, but you know, the wind, it was noticeable. Like I lost an arrow shooting at the moose, which was in flat, and like, you know, we were talking about it, like it doesn't even make any sense why they put that out there like in the field, but they should like just mow like a little bit of area around that. But the moose this year was at like 122, I think.
Oh dang.
And I was just arrogant. Like I lost an arrow because I shot 3 arrows at it, and I had a pin for that, and I think the wind just blew it off target because I had 2 arrows in at the same height, and one was like middle of the animal, and one was like in like the hind quarter, and I'm thinking that the other one just blew with the wind off, but I didn't even, you know, I just shot, and you know, you can't really watch them down there to like be like, oh, where did they go?
Not 122 yards, no.
You know, you're just kind of listening, and we shot all together, like, you know, and so funny, you know, because
this was like a second course, or was this the first? Like, was this like a end of the day, like 20 guys shooting at once, or just the 4 of you shooting at once?
Oh no, this was 12 guys shooting at once.
Love it.
And we got in trouble, of course, for shooting 12 guys, and it was just ridiculous. You know, you shot with us. We shoot faster than most people, and we stopped, got water, got yelled at, split up, caught the people that were in front of us again. And then we were just doing the slinky thing. Like we would catch, there's 3 people in front of us. There were 6 of us shooting. We would catch up to the 3 people that were shooting, have to wait. And then the 6 behind us, which was in our group, would catch up to us. And then we would piggyback. So by the time we got there, we were like, screw it, come on up here. We had to wait for them. Everybody's waiting. They had shooters in their group that didn't have a pin. They weren't shooting from 122. So guys shot from back. Then they had people that walked up. So, I mean, we're waiting. And, so we all came up to the line. We're shooting them all at the same time. And I think that's when Joe got the video that's on the clip that was out today or earlier. And, that group literally turned around and took their phones out to video us shooting because they were like, oh, we need to see this. And everybody except for Ernie were like, oh, we're going to do this all at the same time. If you've been looking to upgrade your cellular camera system to a system that's easy to use, you need to check out Yellowstone.ai. Their app is simple, intuitive, and designed for hunters by people who actually hunt. From setup to viewing your photos and managing your cameras, everything is straightforward and easy to navigate. Yellowstone's Y2 cellular trail camera was given ATA's Best New Technology Award for its ability to automatically connect to the strongest carrier, send HD photos and videos directly to your phone, and withstand year-round field conditions. What really sets Yellowstone apart is their customer service and lifetime warranty. When you need help, you're dealing with a U.S.-based support team that understands hunters and can get your questions answered quickly. They also offer highly competitive data plans and camera pricing, making it easier to keep more cameras in the field without breaking the bank. And if you're investing in equipment, it's nice knowing it's backed by their lifetime warranty that gives you the confidence season after season, spending less time making unnecessary visits to cameras and more time focusing on the hunt. Whether you're monitoring a home farm, a lease, or a public land setup, Yellowstone delivers the features hunters need with the support and value they deserve. Head over to Yellowstone.ai and see why more hunters are making the switch. Backed by a lifetime warranty, Yellowstone cameras are built to keep hunters connected and confident. And everybody's waiting, looking, and then boom, Ernie just shoots. We're like, what are you doing? Like,
come on, Ernie.
Idiot.
But yeah, at Boyne last year, we shot, I don't even know how many people we had in that group. We had Travos going, we had compounds going. We caught a group of 3 people. Yep. And they were nowhere to be seen when we started. Like, this is not a, hey, we need to, precision shoot here. It's like, get up to the spot, shoot. And when you have that many guys, you find arrows pretty quick too. It's like a challenge. Like, oh, that person missed. Let's go find their arrow, and like you get it quick. So, yeah, it's there's definitely a method to the madness when you're shooting that many people, and it's a lot of fun, and you can go through real quick. Like you said, you're not doing the slinky thing. Like, you're all standing there anyways. You might as well fling some arrows and go get them. Then 2 people go grab all the arrows for everyone, and you're not taking turns pulling your own arrow. Like, there's ways around it to make it efficient.
Yeah, and I mean, it was just, and then, naturally we have some hotheads in our group that were not happy about that, and they were making it very known. And it's just like, come on, we gotta go.
You gotta get out of here.
We can't be doing this.
So you already talked about a shot being pretty far, like a moose at 122. Was the course were some of the courses pretty long this year at Crystal? Because I know Boyne, I think the farthest shot I had in the courses I shot was maybe the Caribou, and I think it might have been like one. Well, we made one be like 135 or 136 yards, which I did hit with an arrow I found in the woods, which was pretty hilarious. But yeah, I think like 115 might have been the farthest shot I had at Boyne last year.
Yeah, so I think it was the dialed course was the longest. And that one was the longest course. Like, there was a bunch of, like, I think there was one that was like close to 100, or another one that was around there. There was that one had like a bunch of 80s and 90s. There's one ridiculous shot that was like, no, that one was on Prime. There was one that was on Prime that was like 88 downhill, like between these 2 trees, that just ate arrows. And of all people, Greg put it in. Of course, and Eric Nelson put it in, and then I nicked the tree, it bounced off the tree and went in, and those are the only ones that hit the target. Everybody else
Really?
either shot over or broke their arrows.
That away, Nelson, with the new bow tech or Darton. New Darton.
Yeah, and he was like basically 2 inches overdrawn. So like after he got done shooting, I was like, dude, you need to go to the Darton trailer and have him adjust your draw length. And they did, and then he went and shot the next day, and he shot just fine. But we had to go resight in his bow.
What he shot league all year with a bow that was draw length was too long?
Well, he shot league this year with a draw length that was too long, but he's been in Alabama so much. He's been traveling for work.
Yeah, true.
Like he was there and then he wasn't. So, we were just happy to see him when he was there. It wasn't, we weren't
critiquing his bow or nothing. Yeah. It's like, holy cow, he's alive. There's Eric. Yeah. Oh, I bet that made him feel a little better, like getting the draw length good.
Yeah.
Do you think the arrow will stay on the string better if draw length's good?
And that's what I was saying is that we were telling him that, and he's like, that was on the Matthews. It wasn't even on that dart. And,
who's to say he wasn't drawn too long on that one too, right?
Right.
We got video. We could look it up. So the course overall, you felt like was a little longer than Boyne, like the ones you did, or was it kind of comparable to last year?
Well, so I think that the thing is about like why we went back to Crystal, like, obviously, because you've never been to Crystal, right?
I've only walked the village and I've skied at Crystal. That's all I've ever done there.
So obviously, where we stay at Boyne is phenomenal. But last year, like the shots at Boyne weren't awesome, and they were a long ways in between shots. And the fact that the shots weren't all that long, there was a long ways in between them, and then you were shooting 25 targets. Like that fact made it like less desirable. Like Crystal was able to give you like longer, like I don't necessarily want to call them like better shots, but like shots where you were like stretching it out a little further. And then you'd turn around and move and shoot another one, and you'd shoot. So it was a lot easier with 20 targets to be able to shoot relatively quickly and then eat some lunch, do whatever, and then get back on and shoot another big course instead of just turning around and shooting like one of the flat courses or something.
Yeah, I remember you saying that last year. Like, hey, like those 5 extra targets takes X amount of time longer. Like it made a little bit more difficult to do more because you're crunched on time.
Well, and it was just the layout also. Like the layout was it just was garbage. And I think last year, like the fact that they had the skywalk, the fact that they had like mountain bikes and all the other stuff that was going on, I think that had to do with it. And so we were like, well, and it is a bummer because, we're basically, and then I was telling somebody else that, either like on the way home or like while we were talking about it, like we are just about as close as we can be with the amount of people as we have at Crystal. And it's still nowhere near as close as we are at Boyne. Like where we're at Boyne is perfect.
Yeah. That spot at Boyne's pretty sweet.
Yeah. But it's like, what are you going to do? I was talking with Brad. That's what it was. Because he's only been to the one.
Yeah.
And so he's like, man, that, just to be able to like, to know that as soon as you get off the course, you can go take your boots off like right now. And then when you want to wander over to the village or the practice course, it's
no big
right
deal.
there.
Yeah. No big deal.
Instead of having to like walk and walk and walk and walk. Yeah. So.
Well, that's cool. Well, that's kind of nice to know just for me because not experiencing Crystal Mountain from a shooting standpoint, but like being the village and stuff. And I know you guys talked about Boyne a little bit when we were there last year. Like, I'm kind of, a little different because of this. And you're right. There was mountain biking going on and there was some of that stuff. And to me, like, I didn't really know much, but I was like, shoot 2 courses at Boyne last year was like, we had to be honored. We had to start at like 7 and be able to get that in because just how long it took. And, what else? Another thing you talked about losing arrows like at Boyne. I felt like we all lost arrows, but it was because we were like making the course a little harder. Like, oh, we're shooting this Yeti at 108 yards. We're going to shoot for the head. Like, and then people lose arrows. You know, we were doing stuff like that to make it a little more challenging. To there wasn't too many shots I felt like that were like, oh, this is going to be a like. It'd be like a miracle if someone hits this target right now. It was more kind of like maybe some decently far shots, but I was when I got done with that, I wasn't like. I was kind of worried, like going there, like, man, I might not have any arrows in this because I'm not like a super experienced long range shooter at all with my bow. And then I was like, oh, that wasn't too bad. But then talking about the shot you just had, and I seen some pictures and some videos of like guys shoot. I was like, oh, it seems like it was a little more tighter and definitely eat some arrows a little easier maybe than at Boyne last year.
I don't know. I feel like I lost 2 arrows on the first course. The first day, I lost 2 arrows and broke 2 arrows. And then the second course, we shot like one of the shorter courses. And I lost I think I lost 3 arrows. But it gets worse. Because those 3 arrows, those 3 times, I didn't adjust my sight.
So you kept you just shot the wrong range every time?
Oh yeah. And like it'd be like, oh, that one's 36 and it'd still be at 45 and that one's just like gone. You know, like
laugh about it.
56 and I'm shooting 67 or something. It's like, you know,
I'm not surprised.
Whatever.
So that leads into the arrows because you shot the.
This episode is brought to you by Fox One. Watch all 104 matches of the FIFA World Cup live in 4K for just $19.99 a month with 3 days free. Build your own multi-view, choose up to 3 streams, and follow player spotlights. Stay on top of every moment with live stats, highlights, and instant replays. The FIFA World Cup, streaming live on Fox One. Offers are subject to change. See fox.com for complete terms and conditions.
Need a laptop that's built to perform and designed to last all day? Select Windows 11 PCs starting at $499.99 are now at Best Buy. Learn more at bestbuy.com. Best Buy. Imagine that.
The Chi-Chong arrows, right? Like
that's it. I didn't adjust it 2 times. And then the third one, I was like, I let the arrow off and it was high and it went high and it disappeared. But I was at full draw and I don't know what we were doing, you know, because when we're shooting in these big groups, there is a lot of banter and a lot of ribbing and a lot of all sorts of stuff. And so I was at full draw and Brad and Greg and somebody else are just going ching chong, ching 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 chong, ching chong, and I could not get it back. And
sent it.
I just couldn't get it on the target, and I thought I was on the top of the target, and I was not, and I sent it over.
So you lost 6 arrows.
I misranged 2.
You lost 6 arrows in like a day, but it only cost you $25.
It didn't cost me that much. I don't think, did it?
Yeah, because what are those arrows?
Yeah,
it's like $100 for 2 dozen.
$100 for 2 dozen.
Yeah, like super cheap.
Yeah. No, they flew pretty good. I broke one on the practice range for some reason. The 2 that I hit trees with, and they bounced into the target definitely broke. So it's funny when I had the conversation with the ranch fairy like long ago, and I was shooting the Black Eagle Outlaws with a bunch of weight up front.
Mm-hmm.
And I broke a lot more of those arrows at tack, shooting, and they would break at the knock ends. I would have the knock ends split. And he was saying that energy has to have somewhere to go, so they were whipping really bad when they hit the target, and they would whip and hit trees or other arrows, and that's why the knock ends would break. And so these ones, when I was hitting targets and stuff, they're like hitting the trees and bouncing them off, I was getting those types of breaks. But like I shot a couple like into trees, or like into roots and stuff like in the ground. that I was able to recover. They didn't break. They flew fairly well. I mean, if I hit anything hard, like they broke, which is to be expected. Like one of the ones that I broke, I shot something like under the ground, and when I pulled it up, like the insert was like at a L shape. Like, I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. Like,
but for the money, like, I don't know. I feel like I think anyone who's like willing to go lose some arrows, that's the way to go.
Oh yeah, and to not be like concerned about it. It was just a matter of like how many I brought with me. I just grabbed a handful and threw them in there, and then when I got back, I just it was kind of like
reloading.
I was gonna say it was kind of more like golf balls,
Yeah.
Then like arrows. You buy like a couple sleeves of golf balls, and you go back, and then you get a couple more.
It's like the garage sale golf balls. Just like, oh, big deal. That one's in the woods. Who cares? I'll grab another one.
It was kind of like that. But I mean, for the money, I couldn't complain. And the funny part is, for the first day, it was the groups were like me, John, Jake, Eddie, Greg, Chris, Ernie, and then it was Chris Langlois. I'm trying to think. Austin. I think maybe. I'm trying to think who would have been the other two.
I saw a picture with Keegan. Was Keegan in there?
Keegan. Yep, Keegan was in there. And then there's one more that I'm
barefoot
forgetting.
I saw a picture of him with someone.
He shot in the he shot. Oh, it might have been Chris Burnett. Chris Burnett shot with us, I think.
Okay, nice.
And like that first course on that first day with my new bow and the Ching Chongs, I think I took the most crowns. And shooting against those guys, and Greg will tell you, he'll say, well, you shoot to the level of your competition, and there's no money on the line, and all this other stuff. But at the same time, and he just didn't want to wear the crown of dicks, but he wore it a few times. But at the same time,
what is the rule again? Like, what makes you wear the crown of dicks?
The best shot.
The best shot. That's what it is. The best shot. You get it. Okay.
And the funny thing is like when we started,
and you got to wear it a few times. Is that what you're telling me?
I wore it the most.
The most? Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
That's what I said was about to say. Is like that's why I thought it was funny, is because at the beginning they said was it for the best or the worst, and I said, well, let's do it for the best because I don't want to wear it.
And then you ended up wearing it.
And then I ended up wearing it just about more than anybody else.
Adam shoot first. Oh, he's in foam. Everyone miss. We'll make Adam wear the hat. That's how that went.
Some of that I felt like happened, but. But honestly, the way that started is like. We always used to say, nice shot, dick. Mm-hmm. And so then that's how that.
Did John buy that? Or your brother-in-law buy it? Who bought it first, John?
John bought it, yeah.
That's right. He was telling me about that.
And then he upgraded it this year. He had in his truck a high-vis vest, so you had to wear that and a high-vis vest.
I saw a picture with Jake wearing I was like, is that a high-vis vest? And like, yep. I'm like, oh, is he bringing it along? But no, you want everyone to know, hey, what's this dude doing?
Oh yeah, we got some looks.
Oh, that's great. Love it. So you ended up shooting really good the first day.
Well, it wasn't necessarily the first day, but it was just like, the bull was shooting good. Like I was shooting decent, like everything, and the fact that I knew that tape was pretty good, but just throwing it on there like a couple days before, but like really just focusing on the release, and then trying to stay in the shot, trying to drown out the ching chongs and freaking whatever else is going on in the background.
Well, I love it. So did you I just can't get that picture out of my head of Jake wearing it now, knowing he had a good shot. He's got to throw high vis on, and then there's Adam wearing it all the time. Oh gosh. Speaking just like shooting stuff more so, did anyone shoot for the truck that that got into Jake shoot for the truck, or anyone in the group end up getting in for the tack truck?
I don't think any of our guys did. I think Rob's got in for it 3 times.
Oh yeah, he was shooting pretty good before tack, so I'm not surprised by that. But you don't ever shoot for it, do you?
No.
Yeah. I wonder, did Jake try? Because I thought Jake was shooting pretty good too before he went there.
Well, so Jake was shooting very well, and then his bow ate his cables again. So it ate his cables again. So then John made him a new yoke, reserved it. They got a new set of mods put in, took it to the club, and it was like 6 pounds off, I think. Something like that. Mm-hmm. And so they ended up, and we're going to we did talk about this on the last podcast, but we're going to end up getting one
this happened before TAC, not at TAC. Okay.
Well, it happened at TAC too.
Oh my gosh.
But so he ended up having to build a whole new tape. So we're going to end up getting one of the Garmin's because he chronoed it at 60. He chronoed it at regular, and then he chronoed it at 60. Built the tape with that precision software, whatever it is.
Yep.
And was shooting well, but not as well as he was. And then halfway through TAC, like middle of Saturday, it's doing it again. So he went to Matthews, and whoever the kid was at Matthews didn't know even what he was talking about. So he went to Gas and talked to the owner of Gas, and they went over like what was going on and everything. And then John went in there and talked to him, and they were like figuring out what was going on. And so he's going to get it figured out. I don't know if
that's
he,
like
well,
4
he
times,
hasn't,
right?
This is the third time, I think. Well,
yeah, no, this third time was before TAC, and the TAC was before.
So this would be the 4th time. And so the only thing that they can think of now is that it's got to be like the cams or something.
Yeah,
something is off.
Cams are jacked to be doing it that aggressively.
Yeah. So who knows? But like, essentially, the consensus was from the guy from Gas Strings was that it wasn't going to blow up on Sunday, so it was going to be fine until then. So,
Well, Jake, when you're listening to this, I've already told you many times what the problem is. If you need to call me as this comes up, please call me, and I'll let you know what you need to do to fix your problem. Because we know you listen. But that's got to be the worst, man. You're like, getting all ready. I know he shoots his bow quite a bit and getting all set up, and he's sending us pictures because the club has the caribou at 111 yards, so you can, great practice there. And he's sending pictures of all his arrows in his, he's got his hand in it, and they're all like pretty much touching his hand. So he was definitely shooting really well going into TAC.
Yeah, and then we saw Travis there Friday morning, and he didn't have any in yet, but he was going to shoot for it. But man, it was windy, and it's funny because I was going to shoot for the Bear had a deal for like to win one of their trad bows, and all you had to do to get in the entry was to get some trad arrows into the insert, and so I was shooting them, and the first round that I shot like freaking lights out, and then the second round I shot like shit, and then the wind picked up like it was ridiculous. And so I was like, yeah, I'm not messing around. And I didn't end up going back there. But I couldn't imagine trying to shoot that distance.
In the wind?
In that wind. Yeah. Like, no.
So did you guys take trad bows out for any of the courses like last year?
So that's kind of funny. Yes. But not like you would think. So.
Okay.
Well, so I didn't even bring mine.
Oh, okay.
And so we shot dialed and MKC on Friday. We shot prime Saturday morning, and then I didn't shoot. and they shot Be Real in the evening. And then we were shooting RMEF Saturday morning or Sunday morning because Greg had to leave, so we had to get him to the airport. So we shot that in a big gaggle. And Eddie, so John ended up going home. His daughter ended up in the hospital. She ended up in the hospital. So he drove home, and he transferred. One of Eddie's buddies was up there, and he transferred his band over. Well, I don't know what his story is. Super nice guy, but like when I met him, he looks like he like stepped out of Baldwin Bait and Tackle, like with like a young guy. He's like my age or like a year younger than me maybe. But you know, he had like Orvis stuff on and I mean, and I guess he shot with Eddie like earlier or something and had his trad bow. And so he had John's band to shoot RMEF with us. And he was like, so, you know, I was like, are you shooting with us in the morning? And he's like, well, you know, are you guys shooting trad bows? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, I didn't bring mine, but Brad did. And I was like, Brad, I'll get Brad. So I got Brad, and I was like, Brad, are you shooting trad bows tomorrow morning? And he's like, well, he's like, I can. Yeah. And so Phil, he's like, well, I don't want to be like, I don't want to slow you guys up or, you know, whatever. And I'm like, nah, that's a problem. It's just Brad. It doesn't matter. Yeah. And Brad's like, well, I was going to shoot my Oneida. So I was like, well, I'll shoot your trad bow. I don't care. And then, well, Phil's like, I've got extra trad bows. So I was like, well, yeah, I mean, if you don't care, I'll shoot one of yours. You know, that'll be fine. And so I ended up shooting one of his. And then Austin brought his trad bow. So myself, Eddie's buddy Phil, and Austin shot his recurve. And then Brad shot the Oneida. Awesome. Which for like the first half was like shooting a compound because he had pins that kind of worked. And then halfway through, like his sight loosened up and it fell down. So he just had to tighten it back up. And then it was like shooting like Kentucky windage, like completely.
That's awesome.
But I actually shot that pretty well. You know,
what was the bow you used of his?
It was Poison Dart longbow. It was 60 inches, 57 at 28. And compared to shooting my bow, which the specs is spec'd out like almost identical to my bow.
Yeah.
But my God, like as far as like my bow being smooth or whatever, like that bow stacked like ridiculously.
Oh, the last like couple inches of your draw.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And you know, from 28 to 30 and a half or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it was cool. And I in the RMEF is like 15 targets. I'd say I hit probably, I would say 8 to 10 of them.
Nice. Nice.
I hit a standing elk at 75.
Dude, is that the cheering I saw? Or someone know what was there cheering? Oh, maybe that was someone else. I saw a video.
I don't know. One of them that was like 40 something. It was like 45. Like one of the mini elks. I pinwheeled like I 12'd it. Nobody else did. Like,
oh, we love it. Using his arrows, or did you just use some of your arrows? I love it.
Yep.
That's great.
Well,
you thrive in those circumstances with a recurve or a longbow. Like trad, like just send you out there and shoot arrows. Like they find their mark.
Well, and he was like, you know, we were there, and he's like, do you want to go to the practice range or anything? And I was like, nah,
no,
I'll be fine.
Fling these bad boys.
I mean, well, the first one was like 62 or 65 or something over a whole bunch of stuff. And it was so funny because like I shot like, I don't know, maybe I shot right underneath it, so I don't know what the yardage was, but Austin shot like 25 yards short, and like he kept doing that, and I'm like, what are we hitting the cutoff man here? Like, is there like somebody else up there that's gonna like get him? You had to get an arrow to somebody. It's like,
yeah, come on, aim higher, adjust. So it sounds like you guys got the full experience with shooting. You got to do the same thing as like you like to do, and I bet Brad loved shooting that Oneida. I forgot he picked one of those up.
That bow weighs like 40 pounds. That's one thing. Okay, so everybody, you, Jake, John, Greg, like, I don't know, Brent, like everybody that touched my bow is like, because I have that big bar on the front only so that it will balance, like, and they're like,
balance on the ground.
Andy, yeah, they're like, you need a back bar. This thing can't balance very well. And then I put the 360 on it, and Greg's like, this fucking thing, like, I'm not going to balance. And I think that was one of the other things where I was like, why it was interesting that I was shooting so well. You know what I mean? Like,
you pick his bow up, and it's just like front heavy, like wowzers, dude. But it works for you because you shoot so fast. I think that's why. But
it also, like, I just tell them, like, whether it's with the trad bow or like whatever, like, it doesn't matter to me. And like you saw that like the first time we shot together, like, I'm just gonna pick up a bow and I'm gonna shoot it. I'm not going to like. I'm not. I mean, I am like going through my process. I am leveling my bubble. I am doing all this stuff, but like, I don't know if I'm doing it way quicker than everybody else, or like I don't know what everybody else is like paying attention to. Or I'd love to see like what your sight picture looks like, or how slowly all of your stuff is moving. Maybe that would help me. But what I will say is, from going from that Zion that weighs like maybe 6 pounds completely kitted out compared to this thing, like by the end of the day, walking back, especially after we had done 2 courses, I was like, this thing is like a boat anchor. Yeah. Like, oh my God, this thing is way heavier than like what I'm used to.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. Everyone shoots a little different, right? Like, I like watching guys shoot just to try to pick up little things here or there. I think for you, it's kind of similar to, I don't know, pick up any size ball and just throw it into a barrel at 30 yards or whatever. Your body just automatically adjusts for it. And I think a lot of guys, myself included, maybe try to overanalyze that a little too much in archery, shooting. But if you just pick up a bow and you balance everything out right, like from the sight, like as long as you're looking down at good and you execute a good shot, it should go somewhere in the vicinity of where you're aiming, no matter if that draw length's perfect or not, or if that balance is quite right. And I think for you, like, you do shoot fast. Like, that's not something that people are just making up. Like, when you're on it and you're shooting good, it's like instant. So I think maybe some of that stuff just doesn't bother you as much because you're like, hey, I'm here. It's where I want to shoot it. Let it rip. And it goes where it needs to go.
Well, and I think that's funny. That's like, I've never heard like it put that way, but I mean, I think that probably is about as accurate of a statement as you could say. Is like, I think I could pick up a marble, a football, a baseball, softball, and I can throw it and get pretty close without having to even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's the way that but I bet you there's some other people that want to like look and do like a lot of other things, and it's
grab
probably
that,
just muscle memory.
Stretch her out. All right, this one weighs about 16 ounces. I need to, loft it at the perfect angle. No, you just grab it, throw it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I would love to see you with a back bar setup, because I think you would just, I don't know. I feel like if you had John like set the bow up like that with a back bar, or even Greg, and you just like actually gave it some time, I think you would be like, oh, I see what they're saying. I feel like it, but you're just like, not important enough to me, and and you do shoot fine without it. Like, I shoot like hardly any of. I just use a stubby front stabilizer. So like, I know guys I don't know if Greg shoots a really long stabilizer or not, but like some guys love shooting long stabilizers. I've never been one of those guys. So I have tons of people tell me, oh, you should throw a longer bar in the front of it. I'm like, nah, I feel good just doing it like this way with a back bar. and leave my quiver on. Like, it's all comfort thing. My bow weighs a gazillion pounds because of quiver and all the arrows I got in that thing. But did you, equipment wise, I know you switched a couple things up, obviously new bow. What did you end up using for release? Did you kind of get some of that stuff sorted out where you're feeling pretty good like right now? Or are you like, all right, I got till now, till October 1st. What do you want to change with your bow or do any of that stuff?
No, everything's cool. Like, and what's really, really cool, like, and the more times we do this and the more, I guess, people, like, we get to expose to, like, shooting, and I don't want to say, like, shooting with us, because that implies, like, I have anything to do with it, but, like, you shoot with Greg and John, and, I've been in Jake, those are things that, like, I take for granted, just like when you were, like, asking me how to set up a bow or asking me how to shoot, or, like, and you're like, well, you're not as bad as you say. Well, these guys are freaking awesome, right? And so, like, when I'm shooting, like, I know that Greg is watching me, or I know that, like, John is watching me, and they'll be like, oh, a little fast there, huh? Or, like, what happened there? And so, like, for me, like, with the release, like, I've figured it out that I can't command shoot with my thumb. Like, I have to really try and work my back and try to actuate the release with the pad of my.
Pace Checkout is offered by your banks and credit unions. So when you shop online at participating merchants, your cards appear in one place, ready to use and kept up to date. And the best part, your actual card number isn't shared when you check out, because boundaries are healthy, like no work emails after 6. One small step for boundaries, one big leap for checkout. Pace. It checks out. Activation required. See Pace.com to learn more. Terms and conditions apply.
Picture this. Me, Reese Witherspoon, in London, ordering fish and chips so often they might start wrapping me in paper. I'm traveling with my Wells Fargo Autograph Journey card, so I earn rewards wherever I book travel. 5 times points with hotels, 4 times with airlines, 3 times on restaurants and other travel, and 1 point on other purchases. Imagine getting rewarded for eating a toad in the hole. Wait, what is a toad in a hole?
Visit wellsfargo.com/autograph journey. Terms apply.
Hand, at least to, like, remove some of that control. And there were some times where, like, I would break, like, a good so mad, like, some of those shots, like, one of those shots for sure that I did not adjust my sight. Like, I broke a beautiful shot, and, like, it just kept going. But then other times, like, I would make a shot that was, like, a little sketchy, and I'd be like, oh, I totally command shot that one with my thumb. Like, I'm actively trying to, work that execution of that shot. And I feel like shooting, with Greg especially, is something that, like, it kind of, like, holds me accountable to that. And what's really cool is, like, you said Keegan was shooting with us. Well, Keegan is like, hey, man, I'm here to learn. And so Greg's, like, walking him through it. Like, my brother-in-law was having a hell of a time. So he ended up buying a new release. And Greg's like, you need to buy one of these Stan whatevers. And it's the Click wrist rocket. And Greg's walking him through it like the whole time. Like, hey, I mean, he's just standing there, like, with his arms crossed, saying, like, relax your hand, like, keep your finger straight, like, pull, now pull, and it'll go off. And so he's doing that for, 10, 15 targets, and then until he's like, okay, you're getting it now. Like, and Chris is shooting great, didn't lose any arrows, didn't break any arrows, like, doing well. One of them went off really, really bad, scared the shit out of him. But so then like the next day, Ernie's now, he's got his whatever the Carter, the knock on, like back tension one is, and the first 5, 7, 8 targets that Ernie shot like that, when that arrow, like when that release went off, it was like he was in a haunted house. Like, you want to talk about being surprised by a shot? It was like fucking somebody jumped up from underneath something and scared the shit out of him. Like, it was hilarious. Every time, it was like he almost fell over. He was so scared because it went off.
Just surprise shot.
Oh, I mean, he could have been more surprised.
I tried shooting a hinge last year one time, and I couldn't get to go off. And I was like, nope, this ain't for me. I'll stick to my thumb button. I've never dabbled too much into those. But it's pretty cool to do that. I mean, having someone like that, like the experience of those guys, like, I know I was really looking forward to shooting with John this year. I didn't shoot with him last year because I kind of screwed up the times when I signed everyone up. But I was like looking forward to shooting with those guys because I do like watching that. Like, every time I've been around, even I always forget the guy that shoots from the club, his dad. Is it Andy?
Andy.
Yeah, man. When he helped set up my bow, like just like doing the third axis stuff and like going through it, I was just like enamored by it. I loved it. I was like, just like, being around some really good archery guys I like, anyone who's good at their craft or good at their hobby. It's very entertaining for me, and I really enjoy it. So it would have been fun to shoot with you guys. That's for sure.
Well, and I think that's another thing that, like, we, I don't want to say like take for granted or whatever, but one of the things like with our, like, the deer camp, like our deer camp is, everybody trying to help kill deer. There is no ego, there is no anything. Well, put that into this, and, you could say, well, you got Greg and you got Jake and you got blah, blah, blah. But, in years past, Greg's been like, hey, take my phone, put it in slow-mo and video me because I want to see my shot. We need to see what I'm doing wrong. What can I do better? And like, just the guys that are saying like, hey, tell me what I'm doing wrong or what can I do better? Like, why is this happening? And to be able to be like, humble enough or whatever to say like, I want to learn, like these guys know better than me. And one thing that was very interesting, and for the listener, they may or may not know, our group is very diverse, very eclectic. And that goes right down to age and musical taste. And so last year, Nate shot with us.
Yep.
And I would say that it's safe to say Nate is not a fan of hardcore or death metal music.
Not my jam. Nope, not my jam.
And so this year, we continued that death metal and hardcore trend. But we did shoot with, John's buddy Eddie, who's mid-50s, retired farrier. And we shot with Phil, who was shooting the trad bow. Yep. He had his little young son with him. And we realized, to everybody's surprise, that when Eddie was shooting, the louder and the heavier the music, the better his shot was.
Really?
And if we turned it down, he kind of stumbled. So
interesting.
Yeah.
So no one complained. I didn't really complain too bad. I was just like looking around. I was like, you guys actually like enjoy this? Like, what is it? I bet I asked 10 people. I was like, what does this make you feel like right now? Because like right now, I'm like, I feel angry. I feel like I need to like punch something, and I don't like the way it makes you feel. And you guys are like, oh, it kind of chills me out. Like, I feel good, man. I'm like, no, that's not my brain.
So
first of all, I can't even understand what they're saying. Like, my brain can't keep up with what's going on. It's like, yeah, just a lot going on that I'm not a fan of it.
I just feel like it's at every target, like no matter who's there, that's our walk-up song. And you've got this group of people coming in, walking up on you to the target. Like, here we are.
Yep, it's here. It's here. Could you at least throw some like Taylor Swift in there for me next year, maybe? Like, just make a playlist and just like every once in a while just throw one in for me. Send me some love.
We will find like a Cannibal Corpse Taylor Swift cover.
Okay.
Or
getting there. We're getting there.
You know, I did just send Jake a cover of Alex the Terrible from Slaughter to Prevail rapping Gangster's Paradise.
Don't know any of that, but I Prevail. I've heard of that band.
No. Slaughter to Prevail.
No idea.
Slaughter to Prevail.
You want me to write it down? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm just saying that it's way different than I Prevail. You won't like either of them, but Slaughter to Prevail is much different.
It's kind of fun. Every once in a while, like Jake will send me stuff, and I'll just like he doesn't do it as much, but maybe now if he listens to this, he'll keep sending it to me. He's like, here's a song for you, Nate, and I'll get about, I don't know. Sometimes I can get 20 seconds through it. Sometimes it's 10 seconds. Sometimes it's a whole minute. But he'll trick me sometimes. Like, oh, this is kind of a good song. Like, yeah, then it just hits, and I'm like, what just happened?
So write this down.
Okay.
Slaughter to Prevail. The song is called Bratva.
Okay.
That's the song we played for Eddie on the last one. It's got a really chill intro.
Yeah.
And then it hits, and we made sure that it hit right about when he was going to release his arrow. And funny enough, that's the walk-up song that I created for Stella last year.
For softball.
Yeah, and I edited it so it goes, all the pretty girls walk like...
Nice.
Nice. So, yeah.
Well, that kind of leads me to another question. I did have Entourage was a question I asked, and I knew music was involved in that. So, like the entourage of Bowhunter Chronicles / TAC group walking through the woods, doing their thing. We sounds like you got in trouble. Sounds like probably Brad wanted to fight someone. No,
it was my brother-in-law. It was Chris.
Chris was getting pretty hot. Well, he got hot last year at the guys. Remember those group of guys that were shooting their bow in the backyard at people walking? Your brother-in-law was hot at them last year, so I could see that. All right, Brad, I'll give you some slack on this one. I thought maybe you were the hothead. But I do want to know, like, was there, the trad bow guy, Phil, he was kind of new. Was there any other new guys you wanted to give a shout-out to or group people you shot with?
Oh, yeah. This year was like, so we had Amish Ben shot with us.
Hobo gear.
Hobo Outdoors gear.
Or outdoors, yeah.
Austin shot with us for the first time, and I feel like he's going to have to say a lot of extra prayers for us, 100%.
Austin.
Redder brought a buddy from New York, Jay, so he was new shooting with us. And then, Keegan wasn't necessarily new, but he was kind of new to the full experience. So there was that. Eddie hadn't shot with us before. He'd walked with us the one year when Greg was here when we were at Crystal. So Eddie got the full gamut. And then Skeeter and Brian came up and got to see the mess. Brian, the president of the Bowman's Club, came up, and actually Saturday night at about, say, 12 to maybe 1:30, 2 o'clock, we held a Bowman's Club meeting on what we can do better. Skeeter was taking like notes like a secretary. Me, Brian, and Jake, we're working on Austin. We need to get Austin a membership so that he can get on the board. He's got to be a member for 2 years, so we got to just get him a membership, so we can make that happen. But yeah, so those were the new guys, and Jay, he messaged me. He said that he had basically the same experience that Brad had at the Patreon hunt a couple years ago, which was, being a former military guy, you don't really understand how much that having the right group of guys around you, or having like that sort of camaraderie, like what it means to you. And so he was really enjoyed it. Austin's been around us before, so I don't think he knew what he was getting himself into, but, and then Ben, Ben was, he knew us a little bit from the Patreon hunt, but he said he felt a lot more comfortable with us, after the fact. But he had a good time as well, so it was cool. I mean, it's just one of those things where I am really happy that everybody can just exist, where you don't have to like babysit or like try and get people to talk to one another or any of that stuff. Oh, and Eric Nelson, he came up, and it was his first Total Archery Challenge.
Oh, it was his first. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I think he enjoyed it. He shot the whole thing in like really weak tennis shoes. So I think maybe next year he'll have like better footwear. But we'll see. He didn't complain. So
nice. So there's someone else. Well, the cool thing about Austin, because usually he's got a booth, so like he probably doesn't really get a lot of time to just chill at TAC. He's working a booth with his wife or something. So did he not have a booth at Crystal this year?
No, they had one at Boyne.
At Boyne, okay.
And I don't know. I think this might have been, he said, maybe the first event that he's actually got to shoot.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, I'm sure it's definitely the most he's shot.
Good. Probably nice to go somewhere like that and actually enjoy it I'm sure they like doing it for the company, but it was probably nice to be able just to sit back and hang out with all the guys he likes and stuff doing that. We'll see. See if he likes.
Well, again, he was with us, so I don't know how much he enjoyed it.
All right. One of the other things I wanted to ask you, just because of the first time with ATA with you and John, and meeting Mr. Carter, leaving me hanging, trying to figure out how to let this hinge release go off, and everyone just leaves me. I'm like, what's going on? Did you guys meet any man crushes at TAC this year? Was there any cool guests or anyone they got talked to or anything like that? Because I know a lot of people enjoy going there to see people that they see on YouTube or, archers they look up to, because I guess I bring that up because I know at ATA this year you talked about how the Rushmore Rumble was going on, so you got to see some like pretty cool target archer guys. Was there anyone like that at TAC this year?
I mean, I guess so it was cool. Thursday night we went over, like I said, we met up with AB, and Alex was up there. So I hadn't seen Alex in quite some time, so I talked to Alex for a long time. And Dan Staten was with them, Elk Shape.
Yeah.
And so I ended up talking with him a little bit at the end of the night. And so that was cool. Like, I had never met him before. So we got to talk a little bit with him one-on-one. And he, like, Thursday during the earlier in the day, they were running around trying to make content and do a whole bunch of stuff. So, like, we ran into him, we saw him, and then when we went back over there, he was there. Like I say, we got to talk to him. But I would say that that's like the only person that I think was like, quote unquote, like different. Yeah,
because he's a West guy. He's always out west, so having kind of crazy. I think he came all the way to Michigan.
Yeah. I guess he's doing stuff with Latitude. I think he killed elk out of one of their saddles.
Oh, sweet.
So, yeah. But other than that, I talked to Dieter for a minute. He's fully retired now, so doing the bike thing full time.
Sweet.
That's cool. Talked to AJ from
the Viking guy.
Coffee Viking.
Coffee Viking. Cool.
Lone Wolf Custom Gear.
Oh yeah, Dieter. I met him at the NRC meeting. He was at the one earlier this year, and the one where they did the vote, and he had said something. No, did I see him there? I can't. I might have seen him at 2 meetings actually.
No, he would have been at Gaylord.
Was he at Gaylord?
Because he's from like way up in the UP.
I know, but
so
I swear
for him to come down.
No, he was at the one in Lansing because it was one that Aaron was at too. I met Dieter. Yeah,
maybe.
Dieter was there. I think he came and delivered some bikes. I think that's why he made it a delivery day out of it. So he had said something about that, like that he was going to do bikes full time because he was cool. Well, was Dudley there and stuff, like those kind of guys? No?
Nope.
Okay.
Dudley wasn't there. I mean, Crispy was there, but
Well, he's a Michigan guy, so like whatever.
Yeah. But other than that, it was just like all the guys that we always see. Ran into Jake Belinda was working the Striver booth, which was interesting. I was hoping that the Striver guy was going to be there because I wanted to talk to him, but I guess he broke his ankle or something.
You gotta inform me what that is.
Bino harness guy.
Oh yeah, okay. Nice. Who's Jake Belinda again? I'm drawing a blank on who that is.
He's one of he's like a media guy. Like he runs like a media company. He has he's like The Void or something. I think is his like channel or his company. But he's kind of like one of Greg's buddies. He does a bunch of filming and stuff with Johnny Stewart.
Oh yes, yep.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, don't they have a video? Did they just launch something on YouTube with Spartan Forge? The Void. The guys did.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah,
I might have seen that the last couple of days.
But yeah, like I say, he was there, and I mean, I've run into him a lot, but it's always like at the PA show because he's from there and all that stuff. So it was interesting. But like as far as like other guys like that, like not too much.
Well, this leads me into my next question perfectly. Like I set it up. What about, I always ask you, the first time you ever came on a podcast with me, I want to talk gear with you because I always appreciate your breakdown of gear and stuff. So is there anything, sometimes I know they'll have stuff at TAC that they kind of like maybe open to the public and get it when you're there before you get online or something. Was there anything equipment-wise you saw up and down the village that you're kind of intrigued with, or anything kind of like rumblings of stuff or for gear or, bow stuff?
So Greg, well, there's a couple of things. So Greg is real intrigued by the AAE mountain bars. Like their bars are like super, super light, but they still offer like the same amount of weight at the end. So they're able to like balance their like right amount of weight in the right spots. So those were cool. And then they have, and they didn't have all they had was pictures of it. So they didn't have anything to like show you, and they're saying like late July or whatever, but AAE is coming out with a limb driven rest that has essentially like a QAD style flipper, so you can capture your rest that will fall down.
Yeah.
And it's not like the other one where you have to like, it doesn't have anything like where you have to like set it, the tension or anything like that.
Yeah. Is it Vapor Trail that came out with one like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not that style.
That's my only complaint with a limb driven. I've been running a limb driven since like 2018, just because for Fletch and all that stuff. I'm like, I had a quad that kind of was funky one time with me, and I'm like, I'm going limb driven. But it is kind of annoying if you're like stalking or going through the woods with your arrow on there. It kind of moves all over the place. So I bet that'll be probably a pretty good seller.
Yeah. And, the one thing, I didn't see it there, but like I saw a product that was coming out, and I broke my light at tack somehow. Like my bow, it fell over, or maybe
Surprise.
Yeah.
Threw it in your truck.
It was funny. Like Eddie, he like stepped on one of my limb legs, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." And I was like, "Dude, this bow, if it can't handle that, it's not going to work for me." But one of the guys that does a lot of the stuff for Huntworth, I think it's Derek Craig.
Yeah.
He's doing like some 3D printing stuff.
I saw what you're going to talk about, I think, online.
Yeah, he just 3D printed that thing for the ETAC light.
Yeah.
And like I was already thinking about that. They sent me one like a long time ago, and it's like the best light ever invented, and they're like just too expensive to buy one. And I was going to hunt somewhere where you couldn't have a light on your bow. Maybe it was Colorado or somewhere. So I took it off and I let Frank use it indoors, and he said it's his now. So I'm going to have to buy another one. So that's one thing that, like, I'm just saying, like, this year I think that's going to be the one thing that I, like, have to buy. Like, that's the...
When you say, like, expensive, what are we talking?
Like, what do you think would be expensive for a light for your bow?
For $250.
Yeah, well, then it's not expensive.
Okay.
It's probably like 100. I think they're like $180.
Okay, because I feel like I've seen it right. There's a lot going on with that light, right? There's like a battery pack, and there's like a switch, and like it's not like just like a little thing you screw into your sight housing. Like there's a lot going on with it.
So what he made essentially, like, makes it a lot easier and cleaner.
Okay.
Because basically it's like this little computer module that emits light, and on the computer, like, you tell it the brightness, you tell it how long to stay on for, and then basically it's like any of your shake awake gun optics. So you pick it up, it turns on, you set it down, after you tell it how long, it turns off.
Okay.
And it's rechargeable.
Dude,
that there's different
$100
colors.
don't seem bad, because I feel like I got...
It's like, it's 180.
Okay, so it's up there, but like I feel like just to get the like thing that you screw into the top of your sight housing with like 3 little batteries in the cover is like $75 nowadays.
Yeah, I think that's from HHA.
Yeah, HHA makes
like
one, Dial makes
67.
something like it, and I think maybe Axle or the driver site or maybe has it. I don't know.
So there's that module, and then it's got like all this other shit for you to attach it to your riser. It's like all these, because every riser is different. It's got like a million screws and like freaking sandwich plates and all sorts of crap, zip ties and whatever. But then you just screw in this like hose of fiber, and then it's just on the end, it's got different size things that screw into different size sights. So it's just got all these adapters to neck it down so that it will screw into your sight housing.
Okay.
But it's just got a lot. That's why it looks like it's got a lot going on. But essentially, it's just like a little computer module with some captured fiber that goes into a thing.
Okay. So the thing Derek made was to like get that thing kind of set up on like streamline the computer module essentially.
So
and have
basically,
it be offset.
Yeah, so basically it just has something that's 3D printed that holds that screws into it, and it's got like 2 little wings on it that you just bolt through your riser.
Yeah.
Instead of like all the other crap that comes with it.
Yeah, like a bracket that makes it stick out past. Is that what not Eddie. Why can't someone at the club has that, and that's not Frank. I think I saw it on their boat. A couple guys have that.
Caden has it.
Okay.
It's like, that's like I mean, like Paige Pierce has one. Like it's
That's the
like
one to get.
the
Okay.
site to have, or
Okay.
the light to have. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Well, that was kind of like all I had really question-wise, other than if we wanted to dive into the meal of all meals for TAC. I know the Rome podcasters, we did a podcast earlier about it, but you talked about Saturday. You didn't shoot a second day because you had to make sure food was all good. You got a lot of guys in one house. So, like, how many dudes did you have in one house? And then how was the food situation for Saturday? Because you guys had some woodchuck tacos.
Yeah. Well, we didn't really have that many people over for Saturday, and I think honestly, I think the woodchuck tacos scared them away because I was telling people that we had woodchuck tacos, and they were like, "Oh yeah, okay." And I think they thought that's all we were gonna have for like our food.
Yeah.
So they were like, "All right, yeah, see you never." But like the people that were staying in our house, I was trying to count it for my daughter, and I was like, God, I don't know. Because there's a lot of people that were in and out, and but we had like maybe say like 25 people ish there, and then we probably had like another 10-15 show up, so we probably had 40 or so people, and so we had some bunch of brats. We had some bear sloppy joes that was left over from the night before. We had pulled pork. Skeeter brought up street corn dip, beans, pulled pork, armadillo eggs, but he literally took Friday off to shoot woodchucks to make woodchuck burrito tacos.
Yeah.
And so we get back from shooting, and everybody's like, well, we're going to run and try and get on another course. And I was like, well, I want to make sure that everything is going well, just in case we have to go to the store to get anything extra, or like there's, whatever. So they're like, well, we went and got Eric's bow figured out, and then walking back, and I run into Redder, and he's like, oh yeah, Skeeter's there, and he's getting food and everything's good. And like Skeeter's buddy's there, like,
I wrote a little song to remind you, Choice Hotels get you more of the experiences you value. The Cambria Hotel's got it all. A rooftop bar, have a ball. Bring a date, your squad, or even your mom. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Looking for a protein shake that tastes as good as it performs? Meet Rockin' Protein Max. Packed with 50 grams of fuel, it'll help you keep up when your day won't slow down. And because it's always creamy and never chalky, every sip tastes great. Even better, it's lactose-free and has 0 added sugar. It's not every day you find a protein shake you actually want to finish. Catch Rockin' Protein in the dairy cooler at a store near you. Rockin' Protein and Shamrock Farms are registered trademarks of Shamrock Foods Company.
and I'm like, who's Skeeter's buddy? And he was like, the Sasquatch-looking guy. And I was like, Sasquatch-looking guy? He's like, yeah, he's from like around here or something. I don't know. And I was like, it's got to be Brian.
Yep, it's Brian.
And so, anyways, we go back, and there's 3 quartered up woodchucks and 2 pineapples over the fire spinning around. And for the listener, just a little bit of a backstory. These woodchucks were like completely unnecessary, but
They were too.
These on the Rome podcast and the Rome Syndicate guys, we did a live stream, like just trying to like practice doing the live stream, practice doing the live podcast for the NRC meetings, because that's going to be something going forward that's going to keep happening, is going live on YouTube and kind of commentating like the masters as far as like what's going on at these meetings and trying to pull people in, get a little bit more information in kind of like normal people speak. And so we were just practicing that, and we just kind of went down a rabbit hole about eating what you cook, and Skeeter saying that he had to eat a porcupine one time because he shot it, and his dad said, if you kill something, you got to eat it. So here, you got to eat this porcupine. And of all the things that he's shot and not eaten, woodchuck is like the one that he wanted to. And we watched some videos, both good and bad, on the preparation of woodchucks.
Mostly bad.
And we said, well, we do have a cookout coming up. And he's like, done, I'm in.
Yeah.
And then
he executed.
Fast forward, a week or less, and we had like a legit 4-star Michelin prepared whistle pig taco. And the only thing that I would have done differently on the tacos, and this is not me hurting his feelings. He and I talked about it. There were just too many people, and trying to get it done would have been to do like the correct like street like burrito tacos is to dip it in the juice and then fry it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then put it back in there. But there was just too many people, too much. But it was pulled woodchuck with pineapple jalapeno chutney. And it was
like authentic kind of like feel for sure.
Yeah, I don't think you say authentic because I don't know how authentic.
I thought you said authentic tacos, like that's what you say.
But I mean, how do you say like authentic woodchuck tacos?
True.
Like, what? I mean, who authentically cooks those?
Well, I'm just thinking like the tacos I make, white boy tacos, and then these were much more like did tacos a service. Like these look like tacos, and the presentation and everything were like legit.
Oh yeah.
You went.
Oh
you
yeah.
went
This
hard.
was very, very above and beyond. This was not just like cut up some woodchuck and add the taco seasoning packet. Like,
yeah.
No, not at all.
No,
not
good.
at all. And I mean, we agreed that it was like somewhat of like a pungent meat. Had an interesting smell. He I believe, or I guess I was told, that he just shot like the young ones. He didn't want big, fatty ones. And these ones did not appear to have much fat on them at all.
Yeah, he kind of broke that down, and he said when he skinned them, essentially the fat peeled off with the hide. So like, which he was like, that's kind of unique. He was anticipating a meal, and it's spring woodchuck versus late summer woodchuck. They don't have quite as much fat, before they start hibernating, too. But yeah, he said the same thing. Very little fat content on them.
Yeah.
And he said he tried some too before he put it in the Dutch oven. So it was on the fire for the majority. He said it was about 3/4 of the way cooked and pulled it off, or maybe even more than that before he put it in the Dutch oven with everything else. And he said he tried some of it then. And he said, yeah, he's like it just reminded him a lot of like squirrel, kind of like a squirrel consistency. And because squirrel kind of has a smell too when you cook it, like so does rabbit. Like you can tell it's like it's a little different,
Yeah. Yeah. I tried some then too.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, we each took like a little chunk of it, and it had a different style of flavor, and then he took it and cooked it for a long time
with a bunch of goodies.
Oh, it was, yeah, onion, pepper, beer, oranges, and then one of these barilla bombs or whatever that you can only get in the Mexican grocery. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the night there wasn't a bite of it left. I mean, it was all gone. And other than Brad pooping his pants on the way home, there was no ill effects.
Hey, but Skeeter said that could have been from what did Brad eat? An apple that was sitting in the juice of an air freshener or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he pooped his pants literally 5 minutes later.
In that bowl there was an apple that had gone bad, and then I ate one of the other apples in there, and the apple it was really bitter. Like it didn't have like a great experience from the apple in that bowl.
That can get to a guy. I know if you drink too much apple cider in the fall, if your body ain't used to it, it can definitely go through in a hurry. We've had that at job sites a couple times. My dad loves going to like the places and getting apples and getting the cider and all that. We were waiting for a crane one day. we're waiting for a crane one day to set these trusses, and there's probably like 5-6 of us guys, and we're getting some blocks done. It was pretty low key because we're waiting for the crane. We were ready actually in time, and he rolls in with jugs of apple cider, and he's like, "Here you go, boys." And it was like kind of a hotter day, and we were just chugging apple cider. And dude, it was like a race to the Porta John before the end of the day. Like, it was rough, real rough. So you gotta take it easy on the fruit.
Yeah. But like I said, there was no like ill response or anything from the woodchuck.
I think it was pretty cool. I think it was pretty cool that he did it.
And but like I said, there was a lot of people that were like that. And what was really funny is I went to work on Monday, and like I was showing pictures because I got pictures of it, like them like rolling around on the fire, and then us preparing them, and then all that, and then all coming out, and then pulling it, and then putting it on the tacos and everything. And so I showed the ladies at work, and they're like, "Did you bring any back?" And then I showed a picture of the woodchucks on the tailgate. They're like, "Oh, no. And I'm like, "Oh, so now it's not okay?"
Not good. Yep.
Yeah. Like, come on. You just saw how it was prepared. Like, everything is like legit.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was super cool. And, that type of, again, like environment, like getting everybody together and to, break bread, have one big meal where everybody's there, they're planning on being there. That's the best part. And I really didn't, he's like the best guy. He's not gonna relish in any of the glory or anything like that, but like, I can't thank Skeeter enough. And you could say, the whole time, "Do you need anything? What can we do?" Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, "Oh, nothing. Got it." Like, happy to help. Like, love it.
Mm-hmm.
Just great people. And, and I think that it was pretty cool to get, him and Brian to be able to see, the whole other side of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Because they get to see, like, us and like the capacity that we operate in, and they've met Jake and Joe, and
mm-hmm.
They've seen Brad on the lives and Eric and whatnot. But Skeeter was instantly like, "I'm in. I'm coming to the Patreon hunt.
Yep.
I'm bringing my smoker. This is what we're doing. I'm bringing my thermal, and I'm taking Brad out to smoke some coyotes." Like, it wasn't like I think this is what I meant. It was like in stone. Like, this is what's
I couldn't even like get it out of my mouth. "Are you guys going next year?" Yes. And like both of them, Brian, Skeeter, we're going. I'm like, "You gonna shoot next year?" He's like, "Yep, I'm shooting next year." So it'll be fun. That's what this whole, Boulder Chronicles, Rome, all that stuff is like birthed out of that kind of stuff, right? Like, just get a group of buddies, enjoy it. The moments you get, like you said, break bread together and do those things. It's just good. It's just a lot of good comes from it, and especially when you get the right group of people, it's hard to replace.
Yeah. And I'll reiterate the fact that anybody that's listening that hasn't been to one of these events, like these Total Archery Challenges, 3D shoot that's in your area, make it a point to get out there and go. Make it a point to take some time with your buddies. Find some sort of ridiculous outfits to wear. Anything just to make some memories, to get out there and just kind of get away for a while. That's what we think of when we think of deer camp, like, and I think that's what people forget, is that in today's day and age where everything is about antlers and we're arguing over $1 or $2 or earn a buck or whatever, and everybody wants to talk about all this tradition, let's walk it back just a little bit in that tradition of like getting together and, enjoying, that time together, and enjoying the outdoors. And so for us, when we do our deer camp, it's just about getting together and leaving your ego behind and helping each other and whatever. And then when I say deer camp in June, we're doing the exact same thing. It's just Brad's running around in his underwear instead of,
people run around high
mossy
vis.
oak onesie.
And run around high vis for some reason. Shoot good, wear high vis. Yeah. Oh man. So no, that's great. I love that. And I think that's, I don't know how much longer we're gonna go, but one thing we touched on a little bit was the Roam lives that we're doing. That's why I think we kind of enjoy it, because it's kind of like the group of us go there, we like each other's company, and like, hey, let's go sit for 4 to 7 hours or whatever it ends up being, and just have discussions with people and learn more, and kind of just a lot of laughs, and look forward to doing that once a month too. It's fun to do that. And Adam, maybe you may roll into the first live at an RC meeting next month.
Yeah, that's the plan, and just about that, like, you can say that you guys like to be together and you just want to go hang out and do that kind of stuff, but I think, and I've been, they razz me because I'm like trying to produce their show from work or from where the doctor's office or wherever I'm at, texting them because like, I really feel like the value in that is, what I realized being in that room is there's a lot of stuff that's being said or presented or whatever, that's either just straight up not true in the public comment, or stuff that you don't necessarily agree with in the data, or like stuff that's being presented that's incomplete, and you don't really have a chance. Like, you can whisper to your buddy, like, hey, I don't think, like, where's this information, or like whatever. But it's like probably frowned upon. It's like you're not supposed to talk during the meeting, and you're only talking to your buddy like that. That's not being brought up, and are you going to remember it later, or like whatever? Maybe it'll be brought up again. And so that's what I'm trying to like impart to these guys, because this is all new. We're just trying to figure this out. But I'm like, this is what that's for. When they're saying something in the meeting, the things that I would be saying to Nate are the things that need to be said right now. And then that to me is like what either signing up for that 5 minutes is for, is to just go back and refute. If you don't have something that you already have like laid out with a presentation and a PowerPoint, to go and refute or say your piece on what's been said in the meeting. But that 3 minutes, 100% is like, if somebody else is talking shit, that it's like, there's not a 8 point on public land. They don't exist. It's just only for the rich. The poors can't do it. I feel so bad for him. Like, shut up, dude. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just not the case.
And now we know we can sign up for that 3 minute. Like, that was one thing. I thought you had to have it all done before the meeting started. Right, exactly. But now we know, like, we can go up there and literally sign up before the last person talks and get up there. That's what like Josh and Merle and them guys did this month's meeting. So it's nice to know that.
Yeah, and like I said, I think that's important. Even just being able to say, like, hey, when they're talking about the dams, when they're talking about any of this other stuff, when they're giving the data from West Virginia, well, that really doesn't matter because we're not West Virginia. Mm-hmm. And so some of those things that don't correlate, you can speak on those and while they're talking, and kind of make those things known. And, on that Roam Live YouTube, the comments are on to be able to interact and to be able to talk and to be able to be heard. And if you want something that's said in the 3 minutes or the 5 minutes, that is something that, you can bring up to be heard.
Yeah, well, that's another cool thing that I'm assuming you talked to Skeeter briefly about that, but we're going to try to always have like a Roam.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, you're still here. Your mic or your camera just took a dump. But we're going to have like a 5 minute, we're going to sign up for like a 5 minute thing every month to talk for Roam, and either one of us can get up there, and we would love to bring some of the listeners, maybe questions or points you want to bring up, or anything like that, we can be a kind of a voice for you guys, because it's hard to get there on a work day. So that'll be something we want to do. And then obviously, if you can, listen at work or in lunch break or whatever, and that thing's rolling, ask any questions while it's ripping, and we do a pretty good job of addressing those. And I think it's kind of cool, like, pull people in, and like, this is our third time doing it, or second time doing it. How many times have we done live at the NRC meetings? This is only our second time doing it, and people are knowing now. Like, they point to us and it's like, hey, you want to come on? Like, yeah, we got a couple new people to hop on and, talk with us after, during the meeting and doing those things. We even had a couple anti-hunters that we reached out to, like, hey, if you'd like to do a podcast in the future, like, it's just a good opportunity to talk to some people from different mindsets. And it was an interesting meeting last time. That gentleman that came up and came in hot, like, complaining to me and Skeeter that we were the reason why he wasn't going to have 2 buck tags, and we're the problem in the DNR. And he kind of used my line on me a little bit there, saying, "Oh, I'm the problem." And it was an interesting thing. And he gets up there and does his 3-minute talk and says a 30-06 and shoot 2.8 miles. And yeah, guys were able to talk back to that. And it just, some people are passionate, man, and they get, and you don't want that to be the voice, that your only voice they're hearing. So keep sending emails, keep doing those things. If you can make it to a meeting here, and we're going to try to always have someone from the Rome team out there every month. So, you can be a part of it. It's an important thing to do. And I've learned a lot and continue to learn a lot every time I go to one of those.
Yeah. And again, I think it's, this weekend was really cool to be able to kind of like bridge that gap in person between, like, what's happening on both sides of the fence, and having, Joe was videoing a bunch of the cooking that Skeeter was doing. And, Skeeter's not a hard guy to like. So, he kind of fell right in with everybody. And, the environment that we have is great. So it was just it, and I don't know what Brian was thinking, because
loved it.
He's like, I just work at a church, so I can't really cuss as much as you guys. So
yeah, me and Brian are the lack. We don't cuss as much as you guys. That's for sure. I love it. Love it.
It's like, well, say an extra prayer for us.
Mm-hmm. Someone's got to, keep it down a little bit with you guys. I do send friendly reminders every once in a while. Brad probably knows. He's probably wondering why he hasn't got a call from me yet for did he post the one reel with all the dropping, oh shoot, which one was it? There was a bunch of cuss words in it. I just thought it was funny because he edited it out. Or was that you that did that one?
I don't know.
Oh, whatever. But usually I give Brad a hard time. Like, dude, easy on the F-bombs, man. I got kids that watch this stuff. Take it easy.
Real.
It is real, yes.
Real outdoor adventure mindset.
Yeah, it is. Opportunistic, not outdoor. Opportunistic.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because that's what you are.
I'm going to take this opportunity to learn you some new curse words.
Learn. I've been on a construction site my whole life, pretty much. I've heard them. Now, how they get phrased together, some of you guys are very talented with that. I will give that to you. The creative department is pretty good in that way. It's good. Yeah. But, is there anything else that you got going on in the near future, or?
We hopefully this week we'll find out if we draw Iowa, and then Jake and I have a few Hail Marys out there for tags, but nothing.
Oh, that's right. You haven't heard anything. Did you get the West tag? I can't say their name right now. Little goats. Antelope. Did you apply for any of those? Okay.
We did. So we'll
see what happens.
We'll see.
When will you find out on some of that stuff? End of this month or?
Probably end of this month. Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Well, hey, next time, dude. So it could be Iowa, could be farther west than Iowa even, but no elk. Mm-hmm. Or do you have elk tags? Did you apply for any elk?
Michigan.
Michigan. Hey, you can buy Michigan elk tag now, it sounds like, right?
I don't have that kind of coin.
Oh, who knows? You know what I mean? It might
Let's
be.
see.
What do you think? What do you think the elk tag would go for? Like, if you had the, I'm trying to think on like, I think I heard someone say the governor tag for like Iowa whitetail hunt was like $50,000.
Yeah.
So, what do you think the elk tag in Michigan is going to be?
I don't know, because like some of those elk tags like out west are like in the hundreds. And I don't know. I don't know, man, because like I feel like there's a very distinct difference.
Hunting an elk in Michigan is way different than hunting an elk in Montana or
Wyoming or New
one of those
Mexico.
crazy units out there.
Like, you're not just going to some farmer's field and whacking one.
So you think they could? Are you thinking over 100,000 or under 100,000?
I think that's going to be like around the number.
Okay. And what do you feel like? Do you feel like it's going to? Does that kind of diminish the once in a lifetime kind of pure Michigan hunt thing because you can just go buy an elk tag, or you think it's still going to mean a lot when you get it?
Neither.
Okay.
Because I don't look at it as a real elk tag.
I've never applied for it.
I apply for it, but I don't. It doesn't. I don't know. It's like a farce because it's like it's a once in a lifetime tag, and so you're almost forced to use a guide, and then just so that you could have access to like where these elk hang out.
I didn't realize that until recently. That's how that kind of went. Like, if you pay for the guide more so for access, more so than like the ability to like to kill the elk. Like, it's kind of interesting how they do that.
Yeah, and so you're kind of like, I don't know. It's just, and we'll see. I've got buddies that I've got a buddy that guides elk, so I can get a hold of him and see how it actually goes. But that's like my perception of the way that it goes. So the fact that will it be diminish my view on it? Like, I don't view it as elk hunting. I view it as like wandering around and doing a big private land deer hunt.
I don't even know if you wander. I think you just drive from one side to the other, it sounds like, and hop out the truck and, oh, they're in that field. Oh, they're over there. Go drive over there and hop out and shoot them. That's at least the stories I've heard is kind of, and to me, elk hunting is, a little more rugged, a little more like call them in or, not just drive your truck out to them and load them up that way. So that's why I've never been like really intrigued with it. I've never been like, oh my gosh, I need to, have a Michigan elk under my belt to do that.
Yeah, so that's what's going on right now is that, and then trying to get stuff figured out. Like, what, as soon as we figure out if we draw for that, then that'll kind of like set the ball rolling on what the rest of the year looks like.
Nice. Well, I got a kind of an off-the-wall question for you a little bit. Any podcast guests coming up in the future? Anything kind of podcast related you want to bring up, or for the summer, or anything cool with that?
Not necessarily. I've been trying to get Craig on for a long time. And I just can't seal that deal. And I got a couple other ones that I've got in the works, but I don't want to, because some of the other things that I've got going on that I want, like, we can talk after this. But so there's some things going on after.
Nice.
But yeah, no.
Skeeter's got a cool one for Rome. Shoot, We're gonna try to do like a little series once a month for the coyote thing. Like that'll be really cool.
Told me about that.
That guy signed up. He's on board with it, so that'll be really fun for all the coyote guys. We'll really enjoy that. Yeah, looking for that from Rome Shoot.
Yeah, that's gonna be super cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, nothing.
No spearfishing stuff. I'm just waiting for you to have a spearfishing person on. I know we're gonna try to do a couple of spearfishing episodes.
Yeah, no, like I said, I told him like John. He needs to get John in on that because John's getting ready to. He wants to sell all his old bows to buy like a legit spearfishing setup for the Keys, and then to be able to do it up here. So
yeah, it'd be fun. That's kind of our like. We were just kind of thinking like summertime stuff, like the coyote thing. I'm kind of excited to talk about. Spearfishing, I think will be a fun stuff to do, and then I'm think me and Henry, kind of like how our summer's laying out, we might start trapping some coons this summer. We went turkey hunting, and like every time we went out there, I was like, there's coons running up that tree middle of the day. There's just coons walking around, and I think we might go do a little coon trapping, some dog-proof traps, and go out there and try to help the turkey population out a little bit and kind of bring him up and see how he likes that. So other than that, it's kind of my summer. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, no, my summers, she will say no, but my summer belongs to my wife, so that's the deal. I get
September,
the rest of the year.
Yeah, September to after TAC or after PA.
To June.
June. Yep. Cool. Well, hey, as the guy leading the episode, that's all you get from me. You got about an hour and 44 minutes, so it's your turn.
Right. All right,
what do you want to do?
I think that about covers it. I think we did. I think you missed out on a pretty good event, but yeah,
2027 will be better.
2027, we need to put it in the books.
Yep.
So, and we look forward to seeing all of you guys there. So if you see us out and about, come find us. And if you got questions or you got anything about the Patreon hunt, get a hold of us because we're starting to plan that as we speak. So, but for now, thanks for listening.
See ya.